All right, class, so we arrived at the local park, and what we're going to be doing today is we're going to do our lesson outside in the park among the sun and the clouds and listening to the birds chirping, because we're going to talk about a difficult topic today, which is poverty. But I'm going to first start reading you a book, and we're going to discuss it a little bit more throughout the lesson. But before we do get started, what do you think it means to be poor? Yes, Anne?
I have to wear my sister's shoes from last year. It sucks.
Oh, and you know what? Me too, man. I gotta buy my shoes at Walmart. I want freaking Nikes.
Okay. Anybody else? No? Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to get started. I'm going to read this book to you. It's called The Table Where Rich People Sit.
If you could see us sitting here at our old, scratched up, homemade kitchen table, you'd know that we aren't rich. I tell my parents they should both get better jobs. Then we could buy a lot of new nice things. I tell them I look worse than anyone in school.
I hate to bring this up,
I say,
but it would help if you both had a little bit more ambition.
They look surprised. You can see they never think about the things we need. Right here, I might as well admit that my parents have some strange ideas about working. They think the only jobs worth having are jobs outdoors. They want cliffs or canyons or desert or mountains around them wherever they work. They even want a good view of the sky. They always work together, and their favorite thing is panning gold, piling us into that beat-up truck and heading for the rocky desert hills or back in some narrow mountain gully where all the roads are just coyote trails. As far as I can see, it's just an excuse to camp in some beautiful wild place again. No wonder I had to call this meeting about money. Can you believe my father is sitting here, looking me straight in the eye and saying,
But, Mountain Girl, I thought you knew how rich we are.
I say,
we can't get very far in this discussion if you won't even admit that we're poor.
I'll prove it to you right now,
he says.
Let's make a list of the money we earn in a year.
How much is that?
I ask.
I'll write it down.
But he says,
Not so fast. We have a lot of things to think about before we add them up.
Well, what kinds of things?
My mother says, we don't just take our pay in cash, you know. We have a special plan, so we get paid in sunsets, too, and in having time to hike around the canyons and look for eagle nests. But I say,
can't you give me one single number to write down on this paper?
So we start with $20,000. That's how much my father says it's worth to him to work outdoors, where he can see sky all day and feel the wind and smell rain an hour before it's really raining. He says it's worth that much to be where, if he feels like singing, he can sing out loud and no one will mind.
And that is our story. So, do you have any comments about the story, or might I pose the question again? What do you think it means to be poor?
Well, I think maybe it's just appreciating what money can't buy. Being thankful for things not money.
Very good, Hannah. Anybody else?
Maybe being rich doesn't mean having money. Maybe it means having other things.
That's right, and that's what the story is trying to let us know, is that you can be rich in more ways than just with money. So, excellent. All right, so that's our model for you of how we would discuss this topic with the class. And what we did do is we decided to take the class outdoors to read this story because we believed that it directly was related to the story we were discussing, and that teaching the kids to appreciate things like sun and birds and clouds and trees and fresh air and things like that. So we thought that tied in very well to that. And we modeled for you how we would approach this topic with our students. So this relates to the curriculum in that we're addressing the theme of poverty. The overall expectation it relates to is listen in order to understand and respond appropriately in a variety of situations for a variety of purposes. It also relates to a specific expectation, extending understanding. So 1.6, extend understanding of oral texts by connecting the ideas in them to their own knowledge and experience to other familiar texts, including print and visual texts, and to the world around them.
And that's why we chose the book we did. I hope you guys actually help this or find this video really helpful in addressing some social justice issues in your class like poverty. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you.
Thank you.